There are some huge updates in the Conrad Ashcraft case. This, of course, is a 3-year-old autistic, nonverbal child from Park Hills, Missouri, whose mother found him deceased under a weighted blanket at the Poppy's Playhouse daycare. As we already know, there were reports of a staff member there holding him down with her legs because he didn't want to take a nap. His mother, Tara, had arrived at the daycare at around 4:15 in the afternoon and was told by staff that he was still taking his midday nap. She found him laying on the floor, face down, outside of a bathroom, and when she went to roll him over, she noticed his body was cold and stiff and he wasn't breathing. And because his arms and face were already a dark purple color, that indicated he had already been deceased for several hours. And as we know, that daycare is owned and operated by Spring Gray, who happens to be a member of the city council. And here's the first update. Councilwoman Spring Gray has officially resigned from the Park Hills City Council effective May 20th. Her decision follows recent developments involving her privately owned business. While the city is not involved in the investigation, we recognize the public concern and value transparency in this process. And here's the second update. Conrad's mother, Tara Williams, has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the daycare. The lawsuit claims negligence, saying an employee forced Conrad to sleep, applying weight pressure to his body, causing suffocation. He then lay there for hours until his mother came to pick him up and found him dead. His Aunt Lacey Hardy called the situation a nightmare, knowing her nephew couldn't vocalize if he was in pain. She said his words were limited and he recently learned to say, "I love you." The lawsuit claimed the defendant knew and approved of the techniques of using human extremities and/or other devices to apply weight and pressure to subdue sleep. The lawsuit also said the defendant failed to properly train and supervise employees to ensure safe interactions between staff and children at all times during the day. Hardy said they learned nap time was around 12:30 and his mom arrived around 4:15. Mom was told her son was napping, but instead she found his lifeless body face down on a pillow. The family believes he was having trouble sleeping, so staff put him under a weighted blanket and laid their legs on him until he stopped moving. The lawsuit says he was killed and remained laying on the floor for hours without any effort to determine his well-being. And check this out. The local news there, 5 on Your Side, looked into the daycare and learned it has had numerous violations from the DESE's Office of Childhood since it opened in 2021. Allegations in the complaints included falsified timesheets, restraining and strapping children in chairs, and leaving children alone. And I wanted to share this with you in case you don't have Facebook. This person said, "So decided to drive by after work and saw this. Are they closed down finally? Because I want to know why there's people inside at night during an open investigation, 8:43 p.m. And then it's also being reported that the Park Hills location has lost their license. But this person said, "I want to set something straight. Spring may own all 3 buildings, but each building has a director. That director is in charge of their facility. That said, I do not allow weighted blankets in my building at all. I don't believe in them. Dislodge and Park Hills are ran very differently from what I'm learning. None of us Dislodge would know what's going on at Park Hills as we do not work there. We did not lose our license at Dislodge. I was there when state pulled the Park Hills license today." As of now, no criminal charges have been filed, but I will be sure to keep you guys updated with what happens with this case, so make sure to hit the follow button.